All right, so we're officially now on, and it's going to be recording. So you guys can, as we're working through some of these details here with the technology, everybody's going to be muted, so don't unmute yourself unless we ask you to unmute yourself. There's also a chat room. So here's what's exciting for us. I don't know if you've noticed, but we've really made an effort. We're making an effort right now to shift our company, which is more of a brick and mortar business, and start taking the philosophies and everything that we know works, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball with the clients and prospects that we meet, and take it to a virtual platform. I believe it works. Is actually, in fact, when we first launched the company in 2011, we started doing a ton of business online. We were extremely excited, and then somehow we just kind of stepped away from it. That's actually what helped us as a company do business in 20 different states within the first 2 years of being in business. So it's pretty phenomenal. You can move your business at the speed of web speed and connect with people from all over the world. Officially, right now, we're starting with obviously nationally. We could do business wherever we could nationally do business. If you're going to do business with somebody in a whole different state, make sure that you're registered in that state to do business with them. So we could go over all the compliance details in the near future. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to start to orchestrate or have these meetings virtually like you would at your local office. So we're going to always begin with having a host. The host is going to introduce themselves. So it's going to serve as a platform for that new up and coming leader that's getting results. It's all result driven. So they get to share their story, their background, also highlight who's getting results in their current local offices, wherever you're at or wherever you're at in California or in the nation. So this is the way it normally begins. And I want you guys to go ahead and put in the comment box right now, who of you all, you could even put a little hand, I think, to raise your hand. How many of you guys were actually in the field from last Monday to this Monday? We're out in the field. Go ahead and comment, say, yes, I was. I see Isaac right there, throwing his hands up in the air. But most importantly, who of you actually got a new business partner on board? I mean, somebody that, filled their AMA application, they moved forward, they paid their application fee, and they're now officially with Difference as part of your team. So go ahead and put that on the comments area. So it's going to take a little practice, guys, for us to get this down. Most importantly, who got two people on? I'm going to go ahead and push mute again because I could tell somebody's not muted. It was a 562 number. I just muted that person. I think some people are calling from a phone and maybe it doesn't. All right, awesome. Cool. All right. So I'm going to look through the comments. Maybe I could have Isaac. Isaac, maybe you could look through the comments to see who's the people that actually got someone on board. Or you could raise your hand. I'm looking here. Who actually helped the family this week? I see Gordon. Gordon raised his hand. I think Gail from last week to this week. I know you definitely helped some families. I saw that. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? I could see half your face. I don't see all of you, but I see part of you. So I just I helped a few families myself. I just helped one right before this meeting. I did. Oh, look at Isaac did 6 applications. Great job, Isaac. Stud. Look at him. Must have been the baby face look kind of did it. Hopefully you didn't kill you take away your strength by shaving your beard. You know how Samsonite, how he cut his hair, threw away his strength. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. So good job, Isaac. Awesome. So great. So we'll practice with this. So the idea behind this is that this is going to serve as a platform to recognize those of you that are out there and getting those results. That are rolling up your sleeves. I know it takes a lot of effort. I know it takes sacrifice. It's not simple, especially when you're learning. So good job for all of you that went out there and are getting in front of people or talking to people, doing appointments, getting people on board, and those of you that are helping families. Even if you're a trainee and a family was helped because of you, that's a huge deal. That's progress. That's steps moving forward. In addition to that, as a host, it's going to give an opportunity for that individual to get stage time, if you want to call it, here virtually, and also introduce the speakers as well. So today I'm super excited because it's our first official one, and it's only going to get better and better. I love this because this allows us to have an opportunity to see each other and to connect and not have any excuses of distance whatsoever. We're going to also start, not announcing, but releasing some new things that we've been working on that are going to be tools and resources to help you grow your business. There's some awesome videos that we're going to be releasing. There's an amazing back office that Gordon has diligently been working on that looks so sexy. It puts our back office to shame completely. It's something you guys could feel proud of, and it's really organized and structured in a way for the new agents, even the most senior ones, can actually go on and start learning at these and getting access to the different tools and through these different modules that we're creating. So that's super exciting. So that's going to mean that you could have access to this information 24/7, so that we're not bottlenecking your business, and we're just reaching out and connecting with everybody. In addition, we're going to also have our training. So I'm going to go ahead and transition to bring our first trainer on. It's going to be actually our only trainer for tonight. I know that I've been talking with him every single day, and I haven't seen him as fired up and excited. He seems like a little kid in the candy shop right now. And he's masterminding a lot of the technology behind the scenes. And I'm just super excited for where he's helping lead this company and where he's helping take this technology. He was actually, in fact, the individual that was getting the most results that really helped us do a ton of business in various states. We often talk about, like, what happened? Why did we stop doing that? And now that he's back at it, he's already getting results left and right just by virtually connecting with people. Just a conversation we had even today, he said, wait a minute, it's not about driving, going through the rain, through the snow, or whatever you got to go through, an hour of traffic just to go meet with somebody, just to be able to share our story. How about just connecting with them right now? How about, connecting them even to an automated type of a webinar that introduces who we are and what we do? So what I used to always fight about, saying, hey, the one thing that's exciting about us is that we're young and we're really ambitious, and we're gonna stay ahead of the curve, and we're going to fight against the dinosaur technology that the industry has. Well, I feel like we're becoming a dinosaur if we're not consistently evolving and changing and willing to get ourselves out of our comfort. And so we're definitely getting ourselves out of our comfort, and we've been aggressively getting in the trenches with getting up to date with technology so that we could provide the best opportunities for all of you guys. With that said, I'm going to introduce our trainer for tonight. He's someone that literally I love to death. I don't tell him enough. I feel he's a brother to me, literally. I would go to war with him. I'll jump in that foxhole right there with him. He was my personal best man at our wedding, and love his family to death. He's an amazing husband. He's an amazing leader. He's one of the most selfless people you'll ever meet. He goes the extra mile above and beyond for everybody, and it's no wonder why he's having the success that he's having, and he's only going to get better and better and have so much more success because he's deserving of it. And so we're very lucky to have him with us as a leader in our company. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our Executive Marketing Director, Mr. Karlo Salgado. Go ahead and take over. I'm going to go ahead and unmute yourself. I think you unmuted yourself. And
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm virtually clapping.
Guys, I appreciate the introduction. Can you hear me? Thumbs up. Perfect, guys. So I'll go ahead and take over. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate that. I just piggybacking off Dago said, I'm like a kid in a candy store again. And one thing I feel very grateful for, guys, is innovation, evolution, new opportunities, new horizons. And, I feel really proud of myself that I've stuck it out to always push myself to see how can we do something better? How can we grow from this? I believe in this industry so much. Isaac and I were having a conversation how there's so many people in our space that are not doing things like this. But we know that this is the way that the world is working. And this is not to replace physical contact. I mean, we had a great intimate training on Saturday at there. It was probably the most perfect weather I think we've had in San Diego Saturday morning. We ran stairs for about a good 30 minutes. I couldn't sit down on the toilet for the whole weekend. Thank you, Thomas Padilla. But we just had a phenomenal workout, and we had some great training there by the ocean. And we're just creating new opportunities so that we can just change it up, man. we are in total control of our destiny. You know, I've had an epiphany now as an entrepreneur that I'm always at my best. I'm always the most happiest. I'm always smiling the most. I always feel the most gratitude when I feel that I can create my life on my terms. And that is the whole reason to be an entrepreneur. It's not what you get, guys. It's the fact that you are blessed with this thing called a mind, and how you use the 6 inches between your ears will determine your destiny. You know, when you're reactive to life, that's when you become a slave to life. That's when you start chasing the dollar. I've been there. It's not fulfilling. It's really about you living life on your terms, controlling time. You know, it's alchemy, baby. It's the way that you can create life on your terms. And we are in such a unique industry that it's such a minority industry. You know, I'll be honest with you. The average age in our industry is 59 years old. And I can promise you a lot of those old schoolers are not doing this. They're not doing this on platforms. They're not sharing ideas. And, you know, the fact that people think that this is challenging, people are like, oh, insurance industry, that's challenging. I'm like, you keep thinking that because there's just more room for me. And it's so good, guys. You know, the money that you can make here, the way you can create. And I want to just stretch your vision a little bit today. And so that you can really look at your life and your business in a whole new way. And, you know, I want to think bigger. You know, a lot of times we live in San Diego, LA, wherever you're at, it's completely wide open anywhere. But picture a future where you can do appointments anywhere you have a laptop and Wi-Fi. But let's say I talk to, say, Tamara, who's kind of relatively new to our industry. And I picture conversations like this where Tamara calls me. She's like, I had a great day. I wrote 20,000 points of production just today. I'm like, that's fantastic. Tell me about your day. You know, and all of these clients say, well, I started off, I woke up early. I went for a run on the beach. I did my yoga, whatever she likes to do. She's, you know, she probably meditated under a palm tree, knowing her. You know, and then she started off with a 9 o'clock, you know, with an appointment in Denver, Colorado. Then she had a noon in Seattle, Washington. And then she had a 2 o'clock in Chicago, right? And then she ended off with the 4 o'clock in Florida. And she wrote business all on all of those applications, all from her laptop. And she probably had a $10,000 day. And she was in the comfort of Wi-Fi, and she just crushed it. And now she's like, wow, you know, the fact that I can do this wherever I'm at is phenomenal. We all know our CEO, he loves to travel. You know, he's been on every continent. You know, he's like, he's literally like, you know, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Dago Zuniga? This dude likes to travel the world. And he can be literally anywhere. As long as there's Wi-Fi, you can plug in and do business anywhere you're at. And when we get together, like we're going to get together Saturday, April 13th over at Crown Point, right, near SeaWorld, like we did a few months back, we get together. It's meaningful. We get together to break bread. We get together to fellowship, to have fun, to bring our families together. Because we can't forget that as entrepreneurs that we are a community, that outside of our primary families that we love and support and we take care of every day, we also have, you know, a responsibility, you know, to each other, to be there for each other, to continue to thrive in relationships with each other, to support one another, right? Because what has helped me get through a lot of the tough times when I wanted to quit and throw in the towel was the community that I had here, the support that I had here, my sidelines, my uplines, my downlines, people around me. And I'll be honest, outside of my family, the only people I hang out with are people that are on this call right now, most of the time. And for that, I'm grateful that I found a community of people that I can really share ideas that inspire me to help me be a better person. And, you know, I feel very blessed and fortunate that I can be part of a community of people that are hungry, that don't just want to be status quo and do something big with their life. You know, so this is what this is all about, you know. And, you know, if you're concerned with losing the physical touch, don't be, guys, right? We're still going to get together, okay? But we just want to leverage technology, because what matters more is time. Look, you can lose money, but I'm not worried about that, because you could always get money back. That's the easy part, right? There's an infinite amount of resources, but we do not get back the most precious resource, and that's our time. You know, and if we can all control time better and still accomplish the mission, that's going to be good news for everybody. And it's something that I want to ask all you guys is that before I'm doing this with the CEO, I'm doing this with Isaac, I'm doing this with all leaders. It's like before you take an action and say, hey, I'll meet you Thursday across town at Starbucks or at the office at 7 p.m. at night, why don't you try doing a Zoom call? Say, what if we met one-on-one at Zoom? And people say, well, I don't even know how to Zoom. Okay, this is a free platform, by the way. Right now, you get it free for 40 minutes for everybody. If you go beyond 40 minutes, Zoom will give you a few complimentary, go over an hour, 2 hours, bring as many people as you want. But after a while, it'll be like, hey, you've been using this a while now. You got to pay your $12 a month or whatever it is. But I think that's a very nominal investment compared to the gas money that you'll be paying to go out there and still reach and touch people. And instead of just, even though we're blessed with the demographic like San Diego, where there's over 1 million people here, I want to be able to shoot a message that broadcasts to the entire country so that I can literally, our services can reach anywhere. You can do business in any state. And so that just opens up the playground for all of us to play in even more. And those that really take this seriously, I know will thrive, right? So you got to start thinking bigger. Remember, as the saying goes is, the goal never changed, right? So never change the goal. And the goal is for you to have time freedom and financial freedom so you can travel, provide for your family, retire successfully, financial freedom. That's always the goal. Never change the goal, only change the plan. And so we're changing the plan a little bit to innovate ourselves even more, right? So that we can still connect, still create community. And Zoom has been such a game changer for us in that. So with that being said, I'm about to deliver some really great training for you guys. So I'm going to go into my screen here. I think everyone should be able to see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, cool beans. This is going to be some notes time. Time to plant your flag and claim your territory. I realized over the years doing this, where people struggle the most is the one emotional muscle that if I can instill in you, that is going to pay major dividends in life. This little one word has helped me. I'm about to celebrate my 10-year wedding anniversary. I've been with my wife 16 years, right? This week we'll be married 10. Just like a business, it hasn't always been easy. We've had our challenges, right? But if there's this one word I can tell you that you need to really, really hone in on, if you struggle with this, that's going to save you so much time and energy, is commitment. Commitment, right? Is being able to commit, going all in. I will never give up on this. My goal was never to quit on this, was to always change the plan. And I've seen so many people come and go since I've been in this, but I'm so grateful that I've been able to stuck it out, and 95% of ability is stickability, right? Statistically speaking, over 50% of this call, if not more, won't be here next year on the next Zoom call we're doing 12 months from now. It's just the way it goes. I've accepted that. But just know this, right? Wherever you go, there you are. And if I'm going to put equity in something, I got to see the return of that equity for me. I got to receive the return on that energy. And I believe in this industry, and the more of a minority that it becomes, because so many of the people in this industry are retiring, and then we're opening up new platforms with technology, I know that we're finding a blue ocean to play in, and we're opening it up big time. And I know that we're going to crush it, right? This week launching a podcast. I'm already doing the emailers. We're on ClickFunnels, man. I'm learning ClickFunnels that you wouldn't believe. Gordon is tearing it up with the back office. So in a perfect world, as we kind of calibrate this and we tune it to the perfect tune, it's going to play a lot of the redundancy of business is automation. And I want to automate the business as much as can, not just for myself, but for all of you, right? Because what's going to happen by a week from today, you're going to be able to, when someone says, hey, tell me what you do or what about, you know what? Why don't you just let me send you to our website and you can do, there's a webinar there and they can learn who we are, what we do. They're going to opt in their information, email, number, phone number. They're going to watch 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute webinar on who we are, what we do. And at the end of that, they're going to get a questionnaire. And it's going to tell us, they're going to tell us what they're interested in, the business side, the client side, both. They need life insurance. They want to retire. They want to roll over no 401k. And then we capture all that data. And then we say, here, Thomas, here, Tamara, you had a guest on last night and they want to roll over money and they want to start a college fund for their child. All you have to do is call them and set up the Zoom call and write the business, right? That's all going to be done for you. Okay, that's the beauty of where we're going with this, leveraging stuff. That's going to save you time. Man, now the more I think about it, I cannot tell you how much time that I wasted with wrong people. Driving across town, sitting in traffic to sit with someone that says, hey, sounds good, but I'll be ready in 2 years, right? That's time I don't get back. Now we can qualify people that much faster. So it is time to plan. It is time to really tell people about this unique opportunity. It is time to tell people about one of the best money-making strategies that we have. You know, guys, Isaac Salgado, he wrote 6 apps last week. You know, 4 of those was one client. He's now done about 7 apps with this one married couple. One couple, this one couple was going to pay him over $20,000 in commission. Just this one couple, guys, one, right? $20,000. And this is in the span of about 2 to 3 months. But think about that, right? That's almost $7,000 a month on just one family. And you know how many families out there like that? Millions, right? Because he took the time, he invested, he made a commitment to really become someone that offers solutions to go out there and make a difference in people's lives, not be an order taker, not just try to sell a product, but actually say, how can I help you, and provide solutions based on all the things that we learned. Right? This is why, and this is a person, I'll tell you, right? I know this dog was like this. I know Isaac is like this. These are people that wake up early. They stay up late. They read the boring ass books, right? Oh, I don't want to be reading on this IUL. I'd rather watch Netflix and chill, right? These are guys that watch the YouTube videos, that read the books that most people they find boring, that put people to sleep. But as Dago says, boring makes a lot of money, because one thing about masters is that they beat their craft. Do you beat your craft, right? Is there something that you have mastered, right? And I wanted to be the best in this space. I want to master this industry because it's worthy of it. And when you master something, that's where your value is. I'm going to show you a powerful slide that I got at a Tony Robbins event years ago that really, really hones in on this. So, time to plan your flight and claim your territory. You got to change your psychology, guys. You know, with all the access to free information that exists today, why is there still a great divide between the haves and have-nots? You know, there's a saying now that is really true. I follow a guy named Ed Milet, who I used to work with back in the previous company. Amazing leader. I love his podcast. You should follow Ed Milet if you don't. And on one of his podcasts, he said, you know, today, 2019, ignorance is a choice. You know, it's a choice now. You know, if you remain ignorant, that's because you choose to, because there's so much information coming out of every angle now. I mean, YouTube has now become a real place. It's literally, YouTube University is becoming a thing. Like, so many people are becoming what you call an autodidact. If you ever heard that word, they're becoming self-taught, because nowadays you can type anything into the YouTube search engine about anything that you specifically want to learn about, and there is tons and tons and hours upon hours of quality content of people that have mastered that space, whatever they're in, and you can just learn. I was talking to Isaac, and what he said to me was pretty phenomenal. He's like, bro, guess in the last week, guess how many hours of YouTube content that I listened to? And he's all personal development, 40 hours. He's like, a work week of content, download, right? And I think about myself, like, I listen to YouTube in my car when I'm driving. I listen to YouTube videos when I'm running. I listen to YouTube videos when, you know, I leave my phone in the shower when I'm showering. I listen to YouTube videos on personal development, mindset, growth, spirituality, whatever. I'm always listening to something that I'm feeding my mind the right information. And so why is there such a difference between the haves and have-nots? And the answer is self-image. It really is, right? It's the way that we perceive ourselves. And if how you see yourself is exactly how others will see you. And so self-image is very much, we have such an epidemic in this country, in the world, of low self-esteem. And that's where the negative aspects of social media are, because the social media has you comparing your life to so many people. And it's easy to control a narrative on social media. Don't believe all that hype BS and people pulling up the Lamborghinis and the, you know, you got all these people just wearing next to nothing. You'd be like, man, you know, you see all these beautiful people online, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, well, throw up, right? I ain't never gonna look that good. I can never talk that good. And you don't realize that there's so many facades out there, and there's nobody youer than you, as my man Dr. Seuss says. You know, you're the most perfect. You are perfect as you are. You're here for a reason. And the reason that I know that you're supposed to be here is because you're here right now. If you were not supposed to be here, you would not be here at this very moment in time, right now, listening to this message. And maybe that's the whole purpose, right? Maybe that's why we're supposed to come together, to collaborate and synergize so that we can create something, because I believe it really is about having a positive self-image, and it really is about raising your self-worth. You have to know and believe that you deserve it. You know, and it's not that you can't do this business, because you can, right? It's just that you believe that you can't do the business. And this is where I hear so much talk, you know, and listen, you know, if just listen to sometimes what people say around you, and it will blow your mind when you really listen to what people say. And you'll see a lot of the things, and people will always tell you who they are through their words, the words that they consistently use. And this is sometimes very unconscious, right? I love spending time around teammates, and I was fortunate to be around leaders that would question the things I said all the time. You know, I used to say things about money like, well, money's not that important. You know, money's not a big deal for me. And I remember Dago would always check that. He's like, bro, why do you always say that? Money is very important, and it's absolutely true, right? And the reason money is very important, because money in this dimension, money is associated with the most valuable currency that we all have, and we don't know how much we have left, which is time, right? So it's not the money I'm after, it's what the money represents that I'm after. And for me, it's having total autonomy. I want to go where I want. I want to be where I want. I want to be with who I want whenever I want. That's, to me, is ultimate freedom. And you cannot put a price tag on that, because there's nobody on this webinar right now. Nobody, none of you know how much time we have left on this place. You know, there was a very successful hip hop artist, right? Nipsey Hussle, man. You know, Isaac told me about him. He was shot and killed. This guy was an influencer, man. And there's so much conspiracy about what happened to this guy, but we don't know. The guy was only 33 years old, shot and killed in front of a store in Southern California yesterday. We don't know how much time we have left, you know, and sometimes we squander it. And there's so many people, guys, that they're walking around here like they're coming back, right? I'm going to be 40 years old next Friday, and I realize, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how fast time is flying by, and that I'm running out of it. I'm barely starting to even comprehend this what time means, you know. And so I don't want to squander it. We don't have an infinite amount of time to become who we're meant to become. So you got to go out there and go for it. And you got to start believing yourself. I know it sounds so cliche, but your beliefs are what are dictating every action you take in your reality. It's so true. You've got to start really putting this more into your awareness. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. And, you know, as my man Tony Robbins says, when your wants become must, change happens. When your wants become must, change happens. I want to build a flipping laptop lifestyle. I want to make 20 grand from a resort in Mexico in an afternoon. I want to do that. I want to create that. I believe that's possible. You know, I now realize that the challenges that I go through, just like the challenges that you may be currently going through, the challenges that you're about to go through, they're all happening for you, not to you. You have to, guys. This is how you build emotional intelligence. You know, the reason we like to go to the gym and thrash our body is because we like to put the muscle through pain. We like to tear the muscle up, and the muscle naturally will build itself back up if you let it rest. The same is true with your emotional IQ. You have to go through pain, right? You realize that when people don't have enough challenges in their life, they're very weak mentally. And this is not a judgment, it's just true. You know, when you don't have a lot of challenge, when you don't have a lot of adversity, your overcoming muscle is very weak. And so what takes you out, almost anything takes you out. You get very offended easily. We have a very strong sensitivity issue right now in the world. I mean, people get so sensitive when someone says something. Oh my God. I think people wake up just to get offended right now. And you got to realize that everyone's doing their thing. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. You got to do your thing. You got to live your life. And you got to be clear on what you want. This is, you might want to take a picture of this on your phone if you've never seen this before. I learned this from Tony Robbins when I was fortunate to go to Unleash the Power Within. I know tomorrow I just went to that. I went to it twice, and he really spent a lot of time on this right here. It's such a powerful way that he teaches it. But this is the belief cycle, and if you really study this, there's a lot of power, and there's a lot of mental power in this, because we all can apply this, but we're all going to get different results because we all have different levels of belief. So we'll start at belief at the top left-hand corner. The amount of belief that you have determines the amount of potential you can tap into. Very, very true. So your level of belief, okay, think about like a muscle. If I'm working out chest, right, tries, buys, and you haven't been doing so, and then we get in the gym 2 months from now, I'm going to outbench you, right? It's the same thing with your belief. The more that you practice belief, actually focus on belief. Do you ever study your own belief systems, and why do you believe what you believe? Have you ever grabbed a scratch piece of paper down and put, what do I believe about money? And just started writing down, what are the beliefs I have about money? And then you start looking at some of those beliefs, and if you put them under the microscope, if you put them under the magnifying glass of your consciousness, you'll realize that they don't really hold up when you put the right amount of light into them. And the amount of belief you have will determine the amount of potential, right? So potential is also a power that we can tap into. And there's an infinite amount of potential, but so many people don't tap into it because they don't have the level of belief required to tap into that power. And the amount of potential that you can tap into, which is a power, which is a level that you reach, will determine the amount of action you take. And the amount of action that you take determines the results that you get. And so the cycle starts over and over again. And so what I feel really liberated from is the more I work on myself, you know, let me tell you right now, the breakthrough that I'm having is how I'm investing my time. I mean, I used to be like always, you know, go, 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 go. And I was majoring in minor things because if I can make 10, 15 calls and try to, you know, touch base with 5 or 6 prospects, which was great. It got me to the level I'm at now, but I realized it's not going to take me anymore. I realized I'm more tired. I feel more exhausted, but my income hasn't changed. Right? You know, and so I've been stuck between 150 and 160 for the last 2 years now. I'm like, why am I stuck at 150, 160? What am I doing that I need to grow from? And I realized, how am I investing my time? I need to change things. And so now, instead of just doing, you know, going for next phone call to phone call, I'm putting a lot of energy into one valuable sales process. 90% of my time is going into the one thing that's going to give me 90% of my results, into a sales process, a funnel, an automated process that's going to have a maximum return of the energy. And I know when I achieve that, boom, massive breakthrough happens. And then I can then double my income, triple my income. And so you got to realize is where is your energy going? And if you're a part-timer and you're doing difference part-time, this is where you really got to check your belief. Because if you're pouring all your energy out and your job is taking all your energy from you, and then you're like, oh, I just want to go home at 5:30 and just lay in bed and not do anything. You got to realize you're losing your most critical currency, which is time. And what you don't really want, that is just, you're just renting time right now, because your job is just you're going to be comfortable when you have a job, because you can pay your bills, and it's great to pay your bills, and it's great to put a little money in savings. But think of what, if you're doing what you're doing 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is that going to give you the freedom? Is that going to give you what you really want in life? And if the answer is no, then I hope that at 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m., you're getting your second win, because look, I'm going to work, full time on my job, but I'm going to work part-time on my fortune. And I'm going to put a lot of energy, because that's where I'm going to get the max return. So what is your belief? And if you're like, well, I don't know my beliefs, and here's the greatest way to determine what your beliefs are. Look at your current results. Your current results, whether you like them or not, are a reflection of your current belief systems. Now, if you're like, but that's not what I believe, your consciously may not believe it, but your subconscious believes otherwise. It's a subconscious program that is tapped into that you really need to challenge. Well, how do I challenge my subconscious beliefs that are just programmed into me, maybe from childhood? Massive discomfort coupled with massive action. That's the only way. You got to really face that fear and get out of that comfort zone, so you can really feel this shift, this change. That's the only way that I've grown, is when I've had the butterflies, when I put myself in situations, and I purposely want to push all of you into situations that you're completely uncomfortable and where you feel completely foreign. If you're the smartest person in your circle right now, think about the circle of friends that you hang out with. If you're the smartest person and everybody comes to you, it's time to find a new circle. I hope that you have enough courage to find a group of people that are playing the game of life at a deeper level. I need to be around, if I made 150, 160, I need to be around people that are making $500,000 a year. I need to get around their ideas, their mindset, right? I'm purposely looking for that, for mentors. Right now, I don't have anybody physically here in San Diego, right? But I have you see this bookshelf over here behind our teammate there. That's where I network right there. That's where I network with millionaires and try to get their mindset. Are you paralyzed with fear? So if you're paralyzed by fear, this is a good sign. Fear is good. Like self-doubt, fear is an indicator. Fear tells us what we have to do. Fear is a great indicator to tell you where your current boundary is. And you got to test that boundary. The boundary is meant to be tested. That's why fear is one of the greatest gifts from God or the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's there to tell you where your current boundary is. And if you're not playing at the boundary on a daily basis, then you're stuck in comfort. And when you're stuck in comfort, you're stuck in mediocrity. And you don't want to live there. And mediocrity lives to scarcity. And scarcity is a city with a scare in front of it. You don't want to live in that city. Okay? Imagine all the time you spend thinking of fear, or you're paralyzed by it, whether it's a phone call, taking a test, calling a prospect, talking to somebody. Imagine all the time you spend thinking of that fear and instead focusing on its exact opposite. Think of the possibilities. I love this question. Imagine if you never experienced fear. Imagine if fear was never an issue. Imagine if fear was never a barrier. What could you accomplish? Holy cow. So the rule of thumb, this is a great book, by the way, The War of Art. Very simple read, written by a Marine, great book. The War of Art, Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles. It's a great mindset book. It's an easy read. I recommend getting it. But the rule of thumb is the more scared we are of work or calling, the more certain we can be that we have to do it. And Tony Robbins, he says, once he feels fear in something, he's like, oh my God, I'm actually afraid to do this. And then he has an affirmation. He's like, I'm afraid to do this, therefore I must do this. because I know it's part of my evolution to do so. And every time that I face my fear, I've always evolved to another level. My self-confidence grows. The way I see myself grows. The love I have for myself grows. The relationship I have with myself grows. You know, everything about me, the inner game of me, grows to another level on the ladder of evolution, my growth, every time I face a fear. Your present situation is not your final destination. Remember, it's happening for you, not to you. The reason you feel that way is because you have to endure, you have to battle, you have to go through it. And when you will win, you will prevail, you will persevere. When you get to the other side, you realize that was a test. You were supposed to go through that to get to the level that you're at now. And every one of you that are on this call, and I know many of you, right? Some of you I know very well, and some of you have opened up to me about some very deep and dark things that you've experienced in life. But I can honestly tell you and look at you in your eye, and you all know who you are, that you will not be the man or woman you are today if you did not go through those things, whatever they were. You know that. And when you were going through them, you felt very victimized by them. You felt powerless. But when you finally got the power back and you faced it, you overcame something and you became something different. You became somebody new. That's power. And so now that you know that the challenges ain't coming. Because if it's good right now, you're like, man, you know what? I actually went through a good time right now. Things are good. Well, get ready, man, because adversity is just waiting for you. And if you're going through a lot of adversity right now, like, man, you know, I've been just getting my ass kicked by life. It's been really tough on me. And, you know, well, get ready because this too shall pass and you're going to be at a whole other level and doors are just going to fly open for you. You're going to see this is life. It's in constant change. You can either change consciously and say, you know what, I want to live my life with choice, or you can live it unconsciously and life is going to happen to you and you're going to deal with it. But make no mistake about it. Life's going to happen. I don't care who you are, right? Not me, nobody, none of us. We're not immune to the challenges of life. So in our line of work, we say, what has been the biggest fear in our line of work? And this has been the number one. It's been the fear of criticism. The fear of what other people will think of you, your family, your close friends. You're doing that? Really? You know, there's going to be people that are going to be critical of you and judge you. This is a test. This is a test. What other people think of you is none of your damn business. Why? Because you cannot control that. You have zero control. And if you try to control what other people think of you, oh my gosh, that is called prison emotionally. Because you're always living life. You're always behaving not like yourself. You're always behaving and acting in ways in order to appease other people. That is bondage, guys. That's slavery. Live your life. Right? I realize, you know what? I can't pay my bills with other people's opinions. I can't do it. Until you face this, you will be stuck. I know because I was stuck here for years. And I don't want you guys to have to go through that. There is a sleeping giant within you waiting for you to do your part so it can awaken. But you got to go meet it halfway. Well, how do I know I'm going to go awaken the sleeping giant? Massive discomfort. Massive fear. When you feel the fear and it's uncomfortable, but you know it's in the direction of your goals and dreams, you are moving in the right direction, I promise you. And every one of us right now, including myself, we all know what that boundary is. You know what you have to do. Sometimes we want to hear, sometimes we want to hear it from a thought leader, a YouTube, we want to read it in a book, from a YouTube video, an audio, a podcast. We're thinking someone can give us the secret in a way that's so simple, but we always know the truth. We know what it is. And it's you. It's us. You know that. Stop getting in your way. You fear success, which is why you must become it. You fear what people think, which is why you must take a stand. Sometimes the people you are doing this for will be your biggest critics. Do it anyway. if you feel like if you struggle with loneliness, maybe entrepreneurship may not be for you, because when you become an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of lonely moments, a lot of lonely nights. You're going to feel alone a lot of the time. This is why you got to get to know that sleeping giant within you called your spirit, your soul. You got to get more in touch with that being inside of you. You're never alone. You're never alone. But this is why I love entrepreneurship, because the more you feel that fear, the more you start to be like, oh my God, I never realized what was inside of this person. I need to touch base with this person. I need to connect with that inner me. That's the beauty of this game. So what failure really is, one of my favorite, Thomas Edison, this is a great story. I think many of you have heard this story before, and if you haven't, it's one of the best stories and lessons on failure that I've ever heard of. Thomas Edison, when he was creating the light bulb, he had to do a press conference because it was due at a certain amount of time. Look this up online. And he had a great reputation. I mean, this is Thomas Edison, right? He invented light, electricity, the light bulb, the battery. And he was trying to invent, to create the battery. And a reporter kind of made a mockery of him at a press conference and says, how does it feel, someone of your stature, to have failed? And he responded so swiftly, he said, I don't know what you're talking about, failure. I know 10,000 ways to not make a battery. What do you know? And what he proved in that point right there was that failure is only a judgment, meaning that there is no such thing as failure. When you really look at it, there is no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. Meaning that when we take an action and we have a desired result, but we don't get the desired result we wanted, we still got a result. We didn't get maybe the desired result, but we got a result. So what that means, there is no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. It's what you do with that feedback that determines your trajectory. You and only you alone has the power to define what failure is. Know that and always remember that. Only you can define failure. You can lose your house, your money, and everything, and other people are like, oh my gosh, man, I feel so bad for that person. Don't feel bad for me. I have more experience. I have more emotional intelligence, right? I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on moving forward. I'm going to keep on winning, but I have more emotional experiences to harness the energy to pull me forward. And when you go through challenges, every one of us, what do? Your subconscious, so every time you go through a challenge, your subconscious will go, what do I know about the situation? And a lot of times, if some of you have been through some really tough things, right? I've heard stories from people like, wow, that's a really tough thing to go through. So when life hits, and sometimes it hits hard, they say, well, this is nothing compared to what I had to go through a year ago, 5 years ago. And so you harness the power of that experience to pull you through this current experience, and this is why you prevail. This is the game. So it is happening for you, not to you. You have to learn to fail forward. Oh, you're going to love this slide. If you have not read the book, Eight Ways, or it's not called 8 Ways of Outwitting the Devil, but if you have not read the book, Outwitting the Devil, I recommend that you read this book at least once per year. You can't just read it once and be like, I got it. I read this book at least once per year because the book is tremendous. I actually like it better than Think and Grow Rich. It is by far, I would consider probably this right now my top book. People say, what is the top book, your number one book? I say, wow. Sometimes I was like, man, Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad has such an effect on me. But Outwitting the Devil by far has been one of the greatest reads. I think it is poetry, and there's so much depth, so much substance, so much soul, so much psychology, so much principle, so much strategy in that book. It's amazing how powerful this book is. So 8 Ways of Outwitting the Devil. Number 1 is do your own thinking on all occasions. The fact that humans are given complete, let me minimize this and move you guys to the side a little bit, because I can't even see this. I can't even see my mouse. I can't read there because the thing, and I can't see my mouse, so I apologize. But you guys can read it. But the fact that humans are given complete control and nothing except the power to think their own thoughts, that has extreme significance when you really think about it. The fact that nobody can control this, like people can harm you physically. They can do things to your body physically against your will. You know, in the book Man's Search for Meaning, from Viktor Frankl, Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning, that was his one power that he got self-confidence from. He's like, because the Germans, they can physically hurt me, they can even take my life, but they can never ever make me think anything that I don't want to think. And once he realized that power, he's like, wow, there is power in my thoughts, and that has extreme significance. And that was something that was really well orchestrated in Outwitting the Devil. Number 2 is decide definitely what you want from life and then create a plan once to attain it. What do you want? And if it's just money, and if it's just a car, if it's just that, I want you to dig a little deeper. I promise you that it's not that. For every new material thing that I've ever gotten in my life, that just like that new car smell, it wears out after 3 days or a week. And every time I'm like, oh, I got something that I really wanted. As soon as I got it, a few days later, I was like, all right, what's next? Because I want something else now. What do you really want? And I realized for me, the total true freedom of what I really want out of this life is I want to master and control time. That's what I want. No, if the fact that I live in this country, the fact that I was born in this city, that I live in a vacation world destination is a blessing. And I want to be able to create an income stream that I can go and control time. If you spend time with me, you know that I'm a foodie, right? I have two, my wife's, I have the same pair of running shoes I've had for like almost 4 or 5 years. My wife's like, why do you not get new shoes? I'm like, I don't know, because I like to get the max use of everything. But people say, where do you spend money at? You know where I like to spend money? Experiences. I love going to new restaurants with my close friends and family. I love breaking bread. I love the fact that my dream is I want to be able to just tell my wife, like, what do you want to eat today? I don't know. Where should we go? Wherever you want to go. Right? And San Diego is not short of beautiful and amazing places to eat. Even though I'm from here, there's still so many places that I haven't been to. What I want from life is to do that. Pick up my kids. I want to travel. I want them to experience life. I want them to see the world. That's what I want. And I know that difference can help me get that. But that's for me. What is it for you? This is beautiful right here. Analyze temporary defeat no matter what the cause and extract from it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Ooh, let me repeat that because that is poetry. Analyze temporary defeat no matter what the cause is. So no matter what your challenge is right now, no matter how bad it looks, within that defeat or that challenge is the seed of an equivalent advantage that you can extract something positive from it that will propel you to another level. I promise you that. But you have to change the perspective. That is so good, guys. Number 4 is be willing to render useful service equivalent to the value of all material things that you want in life and render the service first. Isn't that good? Be willing to render useful service, valuable service. Give your very best of yourself in all your dealings, equivalent to the value of the material things that you want in life, and then render the service first. So before you're like, gimme, 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 you have to give. Give the very best of yourself. Give the best service you possibly can, because it is a frequency. Money is a frequency, right? If you're listening to 88.8 on your radio, if anyone listens to that anymore, you can't hear what they're playing on 94.3. So you got to get on the level of 94.3, and that's where your money's at. Number 5, recognize that your greatest asset is time. Budget your time so that none of it is wasted. Recognize a truth that fear generally is a filler from which the devil occupies the unused portion. I'm guessing, right, because I can't see behind that. The unused portion of your mind, in that it is only a state of mind that you can control by filling the space. I can't read after it. With faith and your ability to make life provide you with whatever you demand of it. You can't ask. You have to demand what you want. And then you have to get on the same level as those demands. And that's the problem with our society. Everybody has champagne taste on a beer budget. Salud. 7, when you pray, don't beg. Demand what you want with no substitutes. Don't be like, oh God, please get me out of debt. Please help me win in my business. All right? Here's what I want, and I want it. Ask for it. And recognize that life is a cruel taskmaster, and that you either master it or it masters you. There is no halfway or compromising point. Never accept anything in life you do not want. What you do not want is temporarily forced upon you, or you can refuse it. You can refuse to accept it in your own mind in order to make way for what you do want. This is good. And this is all, guys, the whole book, Outwitting the Devil, is this. This, what I'm sharing with you, is the psychology of a champion who is really clear, and they are vibrating. They're on the right frequency with everything they want, and their actions, they don't take a step. They don't take any physical action in life if it's not in alignment with what they really want in life. They don't just do things, right? They don't just have time to kill. They don't just waste it. They don't just squander. They're just like, I don't know, I don't care. They have, everything is very deliberate. So what I'm about to share with you is the all-time top strategy to learn to make better phone calls. This negative wisdom will change your life and business forever. Are you ready? Because I'm telling you, right? No matter what, I mean, we can do all the funnels and all this stuff. You still got to get on that phone, right? You still got to get on there and touch somebody. But this is the number one thing. Closed mouths don't get fed. You must ask, as my boy Jim Rohn says. You must ask. Be willing to ask. I'd rather take a no. Go for no. Closed mouths don't get fed. Ask. Ask for the appointment. Ask for the sale. Ask if they're interested in moving forward. Ask if they're interested in learning more about how to get out of debt. Ask if they're interested in learning more how to become financially independent. Ask. What they say has no relevance on you. That is their life. They have their own free will. But don't let that block you from your own free will of getting what you want. Closed mouths don't get fed. A lot of you would not even be on this call if someone did not ask you, if someone did not persevere, if someone did not follow up with you. And there's some of you on this call that if it wasn't for people following up with you psychologically and just kind of giving you a little tap, a little push, you would not be here right now. It's true. So I'm wrapping up here. I know. Are you guys getting value from this? I'm not even reading the comments, so give me a thumbs up if you guys are getting value from this stuff. Good. I want you guys to close your eyes. All right, close your eyes, Jennifer. I see you. Close your eyes. All right. Focus on this, right? Now listen to me. Close your eyes and imagine just for 1 minute. Just living your dream, whatever that may be. And I hope you have somewhat of an image of what that looks like to you. What does it look like? Can you paint the picture in your mind? Whether it's a house, a destination, seeing your family at a big kitchen table over the holidays, you know, seeing the look of pride as your children, if you have children, look at you. How proud they are of their mom or dad for not giving in, for not for willing to face their comfort zone. You now set an example for the people in your family, your children, your family members, your friends, your teammates, an example of courage, an example of going for it, an example of success because you didn't give up. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Who is there with you? You have an image of who's there with you? Think of the lives that you have touched, the lives that you have changed due to your influence of you not giving up. Think of your contribution and the changes that you can make. The fact that you can even imagine what you're imagining right now should be of extreme significance to you. The fact that you can imagine it right now, consider it done. Everything you desire is already here, guys. You just have to connect the flipping dots. The mission in life is not in obtaining material wealth. The mission in life is becoming the man or woman we must become in order to get what we want. That's what difference is. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about. It's about you becoming the person that you're supposed to become. And fortunately and unfortunately, you can only get there through trial and adversity and pain. So you must learn to make pain an ally. And go ahead and open your eyes. Now, and wrapping up here, here's why I do it daily. You know, for me, why I wake up, why I fight the good fight. You see, these are my wives. Right, you see that beautiful woman there. That's us getting married in Cabo San Lucas in April 4th, 2009, right before my 30th birthday, man. I was scared shitless, right? I ain't gonna lie, I was very afraid to get married. I was with her for 7 years. And, you know, to be honest with you guys, and, you know, let me just tell you from the male psychology of a young guy in his 20s, right, I was afraid. I was like, man, I'm gonna be with this one woman for the rest of my life. I think I'm gonna get bored. What if I get bored of this and we get divorced? And the truth of the matter is that I'm not with the same woman for the rest of my life. The woman that I married 10 years ago is nowhere near that person today. She has grown tremendously. And she has gifted me with these two little human beings that are everything to me. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I can be a father and pass on knowledge to these two little girls means everything to me. And that's why I play and I'm willing to endure, because the more I fight, the more I struggle, the more I can teach them when they go through these things in their own life. And I'm not going to rob them of their struggles, but I'm going to be there for them, and I can coach them better because I have experience in struggle. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for those two people on the bottom right. Those are my parents. You know, my dad is 60. My dad just turned 60. My mom's 61. And I would not be who I am without them. And this is why I do it for, because this is my legacy. It's not what I get, it's who I'm doing it for. You know, and I know you have a similar story now. This next picture is about you guys. And you guys have been such a blessing and a gift to my life. You know, the relationships that I've built here. Right? Gordon, man, you know, I've seen so much growth in Gordon. Dago, man. Me and Dago, you know, Dago and I go back to 2001. And how far we go back, and how many things that we've gone through together, and, you know, how many ups and downs that we've had together. And that guy's my brother, man. You know, and the fact that, you know, you get proud of a relationship that can stand the test of time. You know, and I see on the bottom right there, that's us in Coronado a few weeks back having a morning meeting after a jog, you know, and just seeing Thomas, who Thomas has become, and Salcido and Michelle and Gail. And, you know, I'm just so grateful that I get to share life, you know, and, you know, Isaac met his future wife in this industry. You know, Sandra, beautiful soul that she is. You know, J-Lo, man, I'm so grateful to have got to know you, the Arizona team, the Salcido family, Elvia Sanchez, Lola. Like, these are our relationships, like the experiences and the struggles and the trials and tribulations that we've all gone through together has been nothing short of just one of the greatest roller coasters of emotions that I've been able to experience. The highs, the lows, the wins, the losses. But we do it together, and it's built camaraderie. And I fight with you guys, and I will continue to flip and fight with you guys and for you guys. You have my word on that. I'm in it to win it, no matter what it flipping takes. And I hope you guys commit too, because it's our time, guys, right? This ain't going nowhere. This is still the greatest opportunity because we have each other. And we've got each other's back. And we're going to win. So, enough with all that emotional stuff, Karlo. All right? So with that being said, I don't know if we have time for everyone to go through, but I'd love to hear from a few people, man. Dago, you can go last, bro.
Oh, I could go last. I was about to try to find a picture when you had hair, when I knew you.
Oh, man. Oh, Isaac said he had a dream when I had hair. He's like, bro, I had a dream you had hair. And I was like, how was it? He's like, bro, you look better like that. Well, I see you guys commenting on me. You guys didn't even do this trade. You guys are commenting on me having hair, man.
We're all curious about your hair.
Here's what I want to hear. Let's see who's on here. I want to hear from some newer people. Let's hear from Aaron May. Aaron, what'd you get from the day training? What'd you get from the training, man? Unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
Tap to speak. Can you guys hear me now?
There you go.
Oh my gosh, man. Today has been a crazy day. I mean, speaking with Isaac earlier and like everything else that you guys got going on, I don't know, man, just moving forward with this whole Zoom call and like being able to reach people on a different level, like constantly through the United States, possibly world. It's hard to kind of fathom that at first because we're stuck here in San Diego. You know what I mean? Because you guys are going knee to knee. And, but damn, dude, how crazy is that? Like I could reach out to my cousin in Idaho or my brother in Indiana, and we can start things and we can start the process of growing this business really incredibly, like just by doing this basic Zoom call. You know what I mean? And me and Isaac were speaking today. We were a little bit afraid of maybe, or at least I was, of the not being so intimate, like knee to kneecap. You know what I mean? Because it takes away a little bit of that. But Isaac told me very clearly, a Zoom call is better than no call. So I thought that was fantastic. Like Isaac just laid me out with that, and it just made me feel really good about the progress of where you guys are going. And then like just moving a touch further, like gosh damn, dude, that book, what was it? 8 Ways to Beat the Devil or 9 Ways?
Well, it's just 8 points, but the book is called Outwitting the Devil.
Well, I got one way to beat him, and that's Jesus Christ. But dang, dude, that shit was so awesome, man. I mean, truly, number 3 on that list just hit me in my heart, and just thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, man. I love you,
Aaron.
I love your little.
I like the message. Don't be a little bitch.
Oh, look at my vision. Look at my vision board,
Jesus,
dude.
and don't be a little bitch, right?
That's my vision board, dude.
That's outwitting the devil right there.
Right there,
Boom.
I want to hear from the beautiful Nia Francois. Go ahead and mute yourself, my sister.
Karlo, you're always picking on me.
You know I love you. You know I love you.
Well, all I can say is I am happy and pleased that we are doing this because it's been, I think, you know, when I first started with different, my big thing was, you know, I was doing this all day in corporate America, and I was like, well, why can't we do it like this for us, you know? And I've been seeing this vision, and to see it kind of unfold and to be a part of it is like just really exciting, because I think this is where we capture everything we haven't been able to capture. You know, this is where we're able to, you know, really get out there and meet and touch everybody who we've been trying to meet and touch, but just don't have the time to do, or, you know, just, you know, driving across town in LA is hard. I mean, you guys know what traffic is like out here. So I've even used Zoom doing meetings and stuff in the past, but just having us as a company having a system where we have automation and we have the videos, and it's like we can really like leverage on this online platform is just completely amazing. And Karlo, thank you for training today. I got all these notes here about what you said. And what I like about this, you guys, what I loved when I did incorporate America is like, I can sit here and talk to you guys and be plugged in, and I can still make like dinner for my family. And as a woman and a wife, that's important to me. That's kind of been, no, it's true. I got spaghetti cooking. Like I was telling Dago, I didn't know we were going to have this meeting tonight at 7. And I was in the grocery store the first half of the meeting. And I came home, I started making the spaghetti, and I'm taking notes. But I think for the new woman, the new man, that's important. Us being able to move in that direction and offer that is going to allow us to track so many people, and it's going to add value to what they feel they can do. Because right now, you know, the average person and that I know or that I meet, the last thing they want to do is drive across town.
Yeah.
And us sitting here, me sitting here, you sitting there in San Diego, I mean, it's like I'm sitting across the table talking to you in the office in San Diego or Gardena. It's like awesome. Wow. So I'm just happy that we are moving in this direction, and I'm excited, and I'm glad we're plugging in, because I mean, I really need this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nia. Well said, buddy. And someone we haven't seen in quite a while, Mr. Anthony Baez. What's up, brother? All right. It's a nice little mustache you got there, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. It was great. Thought the training was great. What's that?
What'd you get from today?
I just like listening to. It's been a little while for me, but I like the motivation. And the kind of that's hitting me a little personally right now, aside from the business, but just kind of like staying strong, and things get better. So
Hey,
that is great.
It's happening for you too, man. But just always know, bro, you got family here, man. You know, we got mad love for you, bro, and we're always here. All right. Hopefully we see you on the 13th, man, if you can make it out for the barbecue.
Yeah, I'll try.
All right. And who is this good-looking black man over here? Have we met? It says over here, Vince. Is that what's his name? Vince B. What's up, man? Look at those pearly whites, man. Introduce yourself. Speak. Oh, we can't hear you, man. I don't know. Is your volume on your laptop, iPad, phone?
You guys hear me?
There you go.
Hello?
Yeah, turn up your volume a little bit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
What I've learned, this actually was I'm glad I got an invite. It's like the best thing I've heard so far yet. It's definitely motivational. I can't wait to get back into the run, getting out there helping families and, you know, inspiring people. And, you know, it's just can't wait. You know, I'm just excited. Honestly, I've been away from the office for a while, and I feel like I've been missing a lot. So I think this is a great tool, a vehicle that we can definitely use for people who, you know, who work a lot and who got a lot going on in their lives and can't, you know, able to make the meetings or trainings. So I feel that this is a great vehicle for us.
Awesome.
I really appreciate the invite.
Hey, we're happy to have you, man. We hope to see you more often.
Thanks.
Right. And okay, so wrapping up here, guys, just a couple more people that I want to hear from. And J-Lo, I want to hear from you, buddy. All right, looking fly there with your glasses on. I like it. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You there? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're muted. Still can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah, turn up the volume a little bit.
Let's see. Okay. I connected with what you were saying about the circle. I just been realizing that my circle before being introduced to difference was a little small-minded, I think. You know, they're always thinking about what happy hour are we going to, what party are we going to, what, you know, when we're going to go out again. It's not really about planning for the future and then, you know, because my life is a little different because I do have kids and stuff. So So when I bring this to them, they're not really thinking about life on that level. So it's frustrating when they're just like, no, I don't want to do something like that right now. Well, so it was nice to hear that maybe I got to change up my circle, which I do feel that way with difference. There's just a different level of just intelligence and connection, and so I really appreciate that. I don't ever get tired of talking with you guys where I did before with the other group. So yeah.
Well said, buddy. As always, we love having you here. All right. And I love to hear from you. I know we're running out of time. I don't want to keep going. So I just want to hear from our two leaders. I want to end with the CEO, but where's Salgado at? Where are you at, Isaac?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Look at that beautiful, smooth face.
Right? I'm feeling really good, man. I'm feeling really, really good. Just love seeing everybody's faces here. You did a phenomenal job, man. Everything you were training about, I had written down. I was just thinking about reading that book again, and then boom, you start talking about that book and just writing those 8 keys. You did phenomenal. I am so thankful, man, that I joined this industry with this company. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know if I would still be here, just being so understanding and so motivating and always being there, trying to push us and being better. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I feel so great. All these changes, all these different things. Gordon killing it with the back office. Dago putting out so much video content. Arizona team are starting to train on those content. Making everything more virtual, more efficient for everybody is just, awesome. I love what Nia said, how it's going to be way more attractive for all these different type of individuals, and it's going to be way more effective and efficient, and it excites me. So that's how I'm feeling right now, man. I truly am, and I just got my second win, brother.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Well, I went with our main man here. The guy that helped see something in me years ago before I saw it in myself. And we just continue to evolve and grow and challenge each other and push each other. And that's Dago. I'm just grateful for you, man. And we'll let you close us out, man. And I think we'll call it a night, brother. So. Yeah, you got the last words.
I appreciate your training today, and this is pretty awesome. I love to see the how everybody is getting involved and to get the feedback from everybody or the input from everybody. It's pretty cool. It's kind of cool to see the comments as well, the chat box here. I think Nia, I really love what Nia said in regards to being able to attract or be able to work with people that are busy individuals, people that have a family, people that want to do this. But I think the old way of doing it was that it was set in stone, that if you didn't show up or if you didn't drive 3 hours away, it's kind of like you were a loser. You didn't want it bad enough. But literally, this takes away all the excuses on the planet. And as long as you have a smartphone, you're willing to connect and you're willing to learn from the things that we're doing behind the scenes to give you the modules, the trainings, you're on the Facebook group, then there's no way that you cannot learn this business and get results as long as you're just implementing the things that we're teaching you and staying connected. When I was listening to Anthony, one thing you said is like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I could tell that maybe you're being challenged a little bit. But I think everyone here, if you were to go down the list and if we asked everyone to share their challenges, I'm sure every one of you have your challenges. It's just that this is an environment where we say, hey, look, whatever is going on or whatever's happened in the past is the past. Let's move forward. What are we doing about right now? And what are we going to do to improve ourselves and get better? Because at the end of the day, the world keeps turning, time keeps on ticking. But one thing we do know that is certain is that we don't have an infinite amount of time for us to live our best life now and to really roll up our sleeves and make things happen in our life. And we're in total control of that, regardless of what's going on around us, regardless of everything. And I sincerely mean that. And so this is just another tool that really just takes away your excuses. It should, at least, because there's no way in the world. And plus we're recording this, which shouldn't give anyone an excuse to miss this. There's nothing like being connected live in the moment, being there and fighting for every single inch. So thank you, Karlo, for leading this and for the great training and phenomenal training. I appreciate it. And let's keep moving with this. Let's take this to that next level. So appreciate you guys all. And you're definitely going to see a lot more change, a lot of good stuff coming out of Difference and its leadership. So awesome, guys. We're going to go ahead and close this virtual BPM. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Isaac, by the way, you got to let your beard grow back. I'm not used to it. You look like a baby face. We got to redo your AMA. I don't know if you're 18 yet. It might affect your – I'm going to call an executive call on this one, Karlo. It might affect this closing ratio, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, what do you guys say, man?
Able to
You're
speak?
going to
Am I
grow
able
the
to
beard?
speak?
You're on, Aaron. Go for it, Aaron.
Gosh damn it, dude. He looks way better with that shit shaved off his face.
You think
Gosh
so?
damn it, Isaac. Absolutely, dude. I wish I was skinny enough to get rid of this.
Oh my
Isaac, you look great, brother. You keep that up. Don't let him tear you down.
Thank you, man.
We'll let the numbers speak for themselves, and then we'll check it out. All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.